Hey everyone, Tom Caffarella here from Agent Investor, and right now I'm actually standing out in front of the house that I grew up in, the two-family Revere on Sargent Street. And I want you guys to take a look inside. I'm going to tell you my most impactful real estate investing story. Alright, so as we're kind of coming into the house, and as you kind of like look around, right, you'll notice we've got no furniture in the property. So this is the house I grew up in. Back there actually used to be my bedroom, and this is where I spent most of my time for my first 20 years of my life. But I didn't bring you in here to kind of look around the house. I brought you in here because, as you can see, like I mentioned, there's no furniture. And my parents are actually in the process of selling this property 2 weeks before they close on this house. And I want to tell you guys, like I said, a story. Again, this is my most impactful real estate story that I could ever tell you. About a year ago today, my sister, who's 7 years younger than me, and my niece, who's 10 years old, they lived up on the second floor of this property. And my parents lived on this floor, my sister lived on the second floor, and my sister came down one day to this unit, and she came to my parents and she said, "Hey guys, thanks for letting me live here for so long. Luckily, I've saved up a bunch of money and I'm moving to Rhode Island. And of course, I'm taking my daughter with me." Now, as soon as my parents heard the news, almost as soon as they heard the news, they decided that they wanted to move to Rhode Island too. My parents were an integral part of raising my niece, Jaden, who's now 10 years old. And they decided that they were going to miss my sister, they were going to miss my niece too much. So they were going to move to Cranston, Rhode Island, which is about an hour and 20 minutes away from this property. Now, they told me this, and I thought it was a great idea. It made sense for them. And so we worked out a plan for them to get to Cranston, Rhode Island. Again, this was a year ago. Now, since the day that they told me they were going to move to Cranston, they basically took no action. And we had conversation after conversation after conversation about how they were going to do it, when they were going to get there, but they never did anything. It wasn't until this April, when I was in a family trip, we were on literally a bus tour in Philadelphia. I got a text message from my mother that said, "Hi Tommy, a house came up for sale on Lisa Street," Lisa being my sister, 3 houses down from where she lives, and right across the street from the bus stop that my niece goes to every single day. We're ready to finally make the move. Now, I know that none of you know my parents, but if you did know them, you would know that that's about the most aggressive, assertive text that they would ever send. So I knew that they were ready. So that Sunday, we went to the open house. And as you can imagine, with a lot of properties over the last few years, at the open house, there were literally 50 people lining up and down the streets. I could see the fear in my parents' face, because I knew that they wanted that specific house. And so we went, we took a look at the house, and on the way from that house in Cranston, back, we drove the hour and 20 minutes back to this very house. We sat in this very kitchen, and I said to them, I said, "Hey guys, what do you think? This is probably the right opportunity for you." And they said, "Absolutely, like this is what we needed to make the move. We needed a house to come up 3 doors down from Lisa to actually make the transition to Rhode Island." And I said, "Awesome. All right, so I want to tell you the few things that need to happen in order for that move to happen for you." I said, number one, there were 50 people at that open house. So we all know, right, that you're going to have to make a very aggressive offer. I said, in fact, because there's probably going to be no house that comes up for sale on her street at any time in the near future, we probably have to bid an amount that's a little bit uncomfortable. The second thing that we need to do is we need to waive inspection, and we also need to close in 30 days. I said to them, we want to make our offer as aggressive as possible. We want to make sure that we do not lose this house. The second thing that needs to happen is I said to them, the house we're in right now, we've got to put about $30,000 to $40,000 worth of repairs into this property to pass FHA inspection. They bought this house in 1982, the year that I was born, and I kid you not, they had made almost no upgrades during the entire 40-year process because they just didn't have the money. So I said to them, we're going to have to put 40 grand into this property. In addition, you're going to have to own this property at the same time that you own the other property, because we're going to have to move really quick on the house in Rhode Island, and we're going to have to get this house ready for sale. And this house isn't going to be ready for sale in the same timeline. And guys, I know this story is a bit long, but I'm going to get to the point soon. Very, very impactful for each and every one of you that's listening to the story. So as soon as I finished telling them what they needed to do, my father, who's a very passive, laid-back individual, literally started screaming at me, cancel the sale, cancel the sale. And I'm not doing justice to what he said, but he told me he did not want to move forward with it anymore. And I knew the reason why. The reason why he wanted to cancel the sale wasn't because he didn't want to move 3 doors down from my sister and his granddaughter. It was because he did not have the money to be able to buy the house in Rhode Island. He didn't have the money to be able to fix up this house in Revere. He didn't have the money to be able to own 2 houses at once. And the words that I said to him are the words that I want each and every one of you to be able to say to a loved one, a friend, or somebody that you care about. I said, Dad, I understand why you want to cancel the sale, but I got this. I got this. I'm going to buy the house in Cranston cash. I'm going to help you float both houses at the same time. And I'm going to put in the money to get this house ready for sale. Don't worry about a thing. I'm going to take care of it. Now, after a few choice words, he tried to stop me, but my parents have done everything for me in my life. And I know that there are people in your life where you feel the same way about them. And me doing this for them, me getting them to Rhode Island, they live in Rhode Island right now, me being able to get them there was something that was just a very small, tiny payback for all of the things that they've ever done for me in my life. And my question to you, as you're a real estate agent in a 6-figure-a-year business, is that in order for you to have an impact on somebody else's life, I don't care whether it's a kid, a spouse, a family member, whatever, you need to be in a business where you're earning 7 figures. You need a 7-figure net worth or 7-figure earnings in order to make a real impact like the one I had in this. I'm telling you this story not to brag, but I am telling you this story because I guarantee if I was just a real estate agent making commissions, there is no way I would have been able to pull this off. This was my absolute proudest real estate investing moment, but forgetting about me for a second, I want to know what your I got this moment is going to be in your life. What's the moment where real estate investing is going to allow you to do something for someone, even if it's yourself, allow you to do something that you never thought would be possible. Growing up in this house, I never thought I'd have the possibility to do anything like that. And it's all because of real estate investing. Now, if you're listening to this, you're a real estate agent and you have most of the tools necessary in order to succeed in investing. But here's the thing, you've got to make a commitment to learning the investment business. As they say, the more you learn, the more you earn. And you have to make a commitment. And the easiest way to make that commitment is to attend our upcoming 2-day Agent Investor event, which you can register for free today at www.agentinvestorevent.com. Again, I want you to have this I got this moment for somebody in your life, but you've got to commit to learning. www.agentinvestorevent.com.